Good morning everyone, it is Lindsay from Rented Space and thank you for joining me this morning. Today we are in my kitchen, so please excuse the noise behind me. That is my dishwasher. Dishes are always going, there's always something being washed or ready to wash or getting jars ready for preserving, that kind of thing. Anyway, so today I've just got a few little jobs and I thought I'd get you to come along with me. One of them is I do have a bag of onions. It's kind of like at the end of their life and I want to get them cut up and put in the freezer, so I've got some onions ready to go. So that is one of my jobs today, and it's just a bunch of red. I used the last of my brown onions yesterday, but I do try to buy in bulk and then I just use them until it gets to a point where I have to cut them and freeze them, and then I've got them ready for those nights where I get home and I can't be bothered cutting an onion but I want it for dinner. And it also means that, you know, I don't waste anything, but I've got everything ready to go when I need it. The other thing is I've got some garlic. I was able to get a whole bunch of garlic from my local farmers market, but the cloves are starting to split, which means that, again, like the onions, I need to get them preserved. So I've already pulled apart a couple of the cloves that during the week, and I was being lazy. I knew I was going to get to this on the weekend, so during the week when I wanted garlic, I just pulled apart the cloves and used the biggest, like the bulbs, and I used the biggest cloves. So I've now got some really little cloves that need peeling. And I was really lucky to come home last night. One of my neighbours dropped off a little bag of some of her little Dutch peppers, so I will be chopping them up as well. I am having chicken tonight, so I've decided I'm going to do a bit of a spicy Mexican chicken, and I'm also going to put the seeds aside to dry, so I've got them for next year. So that was a lovely little gift to come home to. So I just want to get them done real quick today. For the chilies, I do have gloves because they're a hot chili, but I'll do them last. I'm going to get the onions, the garlic done first, and then I'll do the chilies. So I've got myself some little Ziploc bags. Basically, I just grabbed those. So I know I've shown you this before, but you know, when I have stuff to do, I'm going to get it done. So normally I do a combination depending on how many onions I've got, of sliced and diced. Today I'm just slicing. I've used all what I had sliced in the freezer previously, but I've still got some diced. So I'm just going to use all the sliced. And to be honest, I kind of use sliced more than diced anyway. So I'll do that. So I'm just going to write on all my bags, and then what I'm going to do with the garlic is I'm going to peel it all, crush it all up, and then I'm going to put it into, I've got a little mini muffin tray, and I'm just going to put them straight into there, and then I'm going to put them straight in the freezer like that. Once it's frozen, I'll pull them out and then I'll put them into a Ziploc bag, and they'll be like little individual clumps. And that way I've got that, so whenever I need garlic I can just pull it out. Now I am a big believer in, if a recipe says 2 to 3 cloves of garlic, I use 5 to 6. I love my garlic. Vampires will never be a thing in my house, if it is true. So anyway, I'm going to do that so that it's there. So I know that the clumps I make is always going to be about the 4 to 5 cloves, so I know that I've got enough for, and depending on what I'm doing, I may, you know, need extra pucks anyway, like little discs of it. Alright, so we'll get into it. First thing I'm going to do is wash my hands. Okay. It's a bit of a colder day today, so it is nice. It's been raining on and off, so it's a nice day to be in the kitchen. I'm hoping also to get some sourdough crackers made at some point today, taking advantage of the cold weather. So I'm just going to write on my bags. The bench is a bit damp there. Sliced onions, red. The thing I love about this is when I do big cooking days, I've already got it all, I can just get it and throw it in. Sometimes I do big chunks as well, for if I'm doing a chutney or something like that. But after work, when I come home and I don't get home, I finish at 4:30, so by the time I get home it's about, honestly it's about 5:30, 5:45. And you know, it's dinner time. I love being able to just pull things out of the oven, out of the freezer to get them on the stove or that ready to, what are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, one more. Oh, sliced, Lindsay, sliced. Okay, and here I'm going to just put some garlic. 16th of the 3rd, 24. And then I always put the onions and the garlic in a second bag, purely so that it kind of stops the smell going through all your other food in the freezer. Now that all of those are sorted, I just open them. And this way they're already opened, ready for when I want them. Alright, so I'll get out my knife. I was a little bit worried that one might have been too far gone, but I've got it in time. Okay. Get my compost bucket. I always find it easy to peel them. I cut them, I peel them all, and then, I cut them in half, peel them all, and then I cut them all from there. I find that that's, just for me, much easier. I get a bit of a succession happening then, and it's ready to go. Now, like I said, I get these ready. I do it with my capsicums and things as well. My tomatoes I generally put in whole to the freezer when I freeze them. My capsicums I do sliced, I do diced, and I also do just in half. So depending on what I want them for. I And I do large dice and small dice because, again, if I'm doing chili jams, things like that. Oh, this one's a good one. It's making me cry. I know I shouldn't cut the bulb off to help prevent that, but that one's just got a bit of yuck on it. Now I try and compost as much as I possibly can so that I can make my own compost to grow my next season's worth of vegetables. I have recently made myself a 3-pier compost bin. I do have 2 plastic ones. I have like a big compost bin tub, and then I have a rotating one as well. And here I now have a 3-bay pallet compost heap that I've only really just started. But my car has broken down, so I have not had a car now for 6 months. Once I get my car, a new car, I say new, it'll be new second-hand. I can't afford a brand new car. But once I get the new car and I'm not relying on Jamie having to drive me everywhere, or you know, scabbing lifts from friends and work colleagues, I will be able to start going to local fruit shops and cafes to get excess stuff, and then I'll be able to fill up my 3-bay bin very quickly. My aim is to have them all filled before winter really hits, and then that way I can have lots of compost ready for spring next year. Now, like I said, I'm doing these kind of thicker chunks. I'm not really wanting fine. One more onion. Alright, so tell you what, I'll be very excited when I can finally find a car and be able to drive again. Where you live 45 minutes from town, so as I'm sure you can all understand, especially those who do live out of town as well, Not having a vehicle is not very easy. But anyway, we make do with what we've got. And there's worse things in life than not having a car. So just try and get all the air out as much as possible. Okay. Sometimes it's a bit of a, maneuver to get the air out and get the onion around the bag so it fits properly. Last one. There we go. And so that is 5 nights worth of meals, pre-cut onion. Now you can just put it all in one big bag. So I'll show you. For instance, you could just put it all over your tray loosely, freeze it, and then once it's frozen, whack it in one bag. I just find, and I do try to reuse the bags anyway, but I find that these are just perfect size amounts, and if it's not me cooking and it's, the kids cooking or Jamie, then I know that they've got the right amount of onion ready to go. Alright, I'm just going to quickly rinse my bowl. Please excuse my eyes, I did have a bit of a cry. It was just the onions, I promise. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do is the garlic. And this is going to be painful to do, but it is what it is. So, first thing I'm going to do is just take it all out of the cloves. Oh, throw it on the floor. Okay, so I'm going to work on the garlic now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up all the cloves, and get them out, and then try and get rid of most of the mess. Then I will peel the individual cloves. So once each bulb is opened, what I'll do from there is I'll get rid of all the mess. I will then peel each individual clove, which takes forever, which is why I put this off, but that's okay. It's a chore that has to be done, and I'm happy to do it. And especially seeing it's nice fresh garlic from a local farm. And I know these ones especially are going to be hard because that was their little stuff, and she said that she brought it, but people just weren't buying it. So I did buy some of her little bulbs as well as her bigger bulbs, because you know what, I know how tedious it is, and I knew that a lot of people don't want to use the smaller bulbs, but that's okay. I knew I was going to do this with it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It's just a bit more painful to open and peel. But I like buying from the locals and knowing that I'm supporting them. And I'm lucky that we have some good locally produced garlic available to us. One of the local farms also does elephant garlic, which I haven't actually bought yet, but if I can make it to the post office on a weekday, I will be doing that. Some of these bulbs aren't too bad actually. Some are quite big. Makes me feel a little bit better. It's all the garlic. Now we can start. Now that I have it all peeled from out of the clothes, the bulbs, I can start opening it. I'm not going to make you watch me peel them all slowly individually. I will fast forward this. We all know how to peel garlic, but once it's done, it will be a pretty sight. Now, just as a thing, with the really little ones, I generally will crush them up and I put them aside, I crush them up and I put them in my chicken's water for, because it helps with like lice and things like that. So these ones here, I'm just going to put aside. Last two, finally. Last one. Okay. I'm just going to clean up the mess as best I can because garlic's nice and sticky. Yes, ma'am. May's in the kitchen cooking some bacon and eggs, so you'll be able to hear her in the background as well. Alright, I'll wash my hands. Okay, so now that I've got all the garlic, I'll just make sure, I'll give it a quick check, make sure there's no peel left in there. Chopping bowl to rinse. Okay. into the NutriBullet. Just try to shake it around every couple of times to make sure that all the garlic gets all the way around. Well, there's still some big chunks, so I'll have to put it on again, but I'll try and get rid of the smaller stuff first. Tell you what, you can smell garlic in the house. So now they're all done, they're going in the freezer. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to do the chilies now. Putting on the gloves, like I said, they are a hot chili, or they can be hot, depending. And because these aren't from my bush, well, I didn't grow them, so I don't know. Alright, so I'm just going to cut the top off. I'm going to chop them up. Like chop them roughly, but I'm going to take the seeds out because I want to keep the seeds. So I have a piece of paper towel for the seeds. So let's get this done. Yeah, they're a bit hot. So just put them like that into the bag. Last one. Okay, before I take this off, I'm just going to get the seeds off the membrane so that I can keep them in the paper towel to dry. Oh, telling you, I can feel the burn in my eyes and in my throat. I'm going to have fun cooking these. I do have some chili jam and some capsicum jam coming up, so I'll be able to use that in them, I think. I only need a little bit, I promise you. Excuse me, young man, you're not allowed in here. Out. No, out, thank you. Sorry, the Turbo was in the kitchen. Even though he knows he's not allowed to, he likes to push the limits, that one. The rest are all pretty good and behave. Turbo, not so much. It's because he gets away too much because he's cute. Okay. Now that I've finished that, gloves straight in the bin. Alright, so there is some seeds. And I will wrap them again. I'll put them in somewhere warm so they dry out. Alright, and there we go, ready for the freezer. Hi, so the chilies are all now chopped up. I have the seeds in paper towel for saving. I'm just trying to dry them out, that's why they're in there. So they're ready in there for the freezer. I'm going to put them in now. Thank you again for joining me on this video today. I very much appreciate it. I hope you've had a lovely day, and there goes my child. Again, thank you very much for joining me, and I hope to see you all again soon. Bye.